Hi there, forgive the shaky camera. I'm literally holding my phone and speaking to you because we are just in the middle of a content lab session with the Out There Invisible Club, and I've given people this prompt. Some people attend live and some people listen back on the recording. I gave them a prompt which really kind of evoked this message that I want to speak to you. And it's about the thing that we do and what is going on for some people. They just don't even realise that they might actually benefit from the work, want the work, desire the work, need the work, whatever, however you would phrase it. And one of the things I see a lot, and it's almost like the surprising things about this visibility vibes method and the people that actually benefit most from the work, and this may surprise you. Three things came to mind when I first spoke about this. And it's visibility flavoured, of course it is. But what am I talking about and why is it even important? So I'm talking about visibility even when you are already visible. And that's likely to be you. We're not talking about visibility when you are shy and retiring. We're not talking about visibility when no one knows who you are yet. We're talking about visibility because you've got a product or a service and you want a gazillion trillion more people to know about the work that you do. It's not even really a personality contest. So why does it matter? There are many famous people out there. I could say a name of somebody famous and you could say, who? I've never heard of them. And you haven't heard of them yet. They haven't got, they haven't got out to your ears, to your eyes, to your TV screen, to your bookshelf, to anywhere else like that. And that's the same for all of us. So it's interesting. A lot of the people that benefit from our work, I don't even think it's that they need the work. They truly benefit from it is they are already visible. They've already built an audience. They're already out in front of their audience. They might even have programs and services. They might run live events. They might host networking, circles, meetups, talks. They might already be speaking from stages. They might be really comfortable and confident on camera and really great on video. But what they really deeply desire is to have more people hear about their work. More people know about what they do and what they can offer in the world, how they can help. The second kind of ding-a-ling-a-ling that the visibility work that I do through the visibility vibes method, which I'll tell you about in a second, the second ding-a-ling-a-ling of that is people think sometimes that this work is only for the shy and retiring. And don't get me wrong, I've had many a good sort of piece of laughter and fun with somebody who, by their own admission, is shy. They don't want to put themselves out there. They might have a specific reason or a few reasons why they feel that they need to hold themselves back. That's not who this work is solely for. I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with who are out there, they're visible, they're speaking on stages, they've done press stuff, they've done media stuff, their work has worked with famous people, with groups, with one person, with children, with dogs, with, animals, with whoever. And then I'll say to them, we should do a video about that. Let's stick a video out there. And you see the look of absolute terror go across their face. Now, as adults, we're much better at kind of masking this. Children will go, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But most adults will say, oh, no, I haven't put my lipstick on. Or, oh gosh, I had a whole load of ideas back in my office and I need to go and look at them. Or they'll make some sort of reason as to why they can't. Now, this is really important to me because I know how constricting it could be, how limiting it can feel when there's something you just want to get out there and do. Weirdly, I learned this as a big lesson in 2019 when I decided I really wanted to run the London Marathon. I really wanted to do it as a non-runner. And anyone that had been watching my Monday motivations at the time that I was doing them, they would have heard me say a gazillion times, I'm so motivated by the marathon runners. I want to do it soon. And I think I actually got sick of hearing myself say that so many times until 2019 came and I went, you know what? I haven't got a clue how to run a marathon. I've never even run a 5K. And because of that, I'm going to enter. I entered the ballot. But somehow, I feel like I knew. I persuaded a friend to enter with me. And a few months later, because I think it happened in the April, a few months later in the October of 2019, I got an email that said, congratulations, you're through. Wow. I didn't actually say wow at the time. I'm not going to lie. I think I swore a bit. But I thought, wow, I'm through. My friend, unfortunately, didn't get through and confessed very quickly that she was quite relieved. And then there I was, teed up to run the London Marathon in 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. So everyone said, oh, as long as you train well, you eat well, you don't poop yourself as you run around the course, you'll be okay. You'll have the crowds will be egging you on. And then in 2020, I completed my first marathon without the crowds, but with headphones of crowd noises, running on a road in Stoke-on-Trent in England, of all places, which is above sea level. Those of you that know these things will know how difficult that was. And I planned out my route there and back 5 times, was 26.2 miles. I even, on the run, plugged into a webinar of that somebody was hosting in America. I think it's a 3-day event. So I said, look, I'm not going to switch my camera on because I'm running. Definitely would be on mute. And I did switch my camera on for a little bit. And people said, are you actually running a marathon right now? Yes, I said, not quite like that, a bit more breathy. And the reason that I share that story with you, like I say, is I know what it sounds like when you have a deep rooted desire. It makes no sense to anyone but you, and you know it's something that you want to do, but for some reason you're just not doing it until you get sick and tired of the sound of your own voice saying, come on, it's time. So for many people that I work with when it comes to visibility, for them it could be the public speaking part of it, the presentation part of it, the sales part of it, all part of the vibe system. See the 5 pillars there. But I've also met plenty of people who are very well known, who are maybe not so well known, but out there, they're visible. And then guess what? They don't want to do a video. They make a video, it sits on their phone, never sees the light of day, sits on their computer, never sees the light of day. They think, well, they need to, edit it. They need to do a ton of things with it. And that's simply not true. So the third thing, what did I write down as my third thing? I can't even read my own writing because I haven't got my glasses on. But I said it's nothing to do with the cost of production. So the other thing that I see are people who are quite kind of out there and visible, and they see people like Stephen Bartlett with his lovely setup on his Diary of a CEO. They watch Davina McCall maybe on her podcast and think, that's what I want to do, but I need to get a studio, I need to do this, I need to do that. I saw someone really recently who is, fairly much out there. They're not shy, they're not retiring, they're out there and they're visible, and they had the most beautiful message, and they shared the most beautiful message. It was informative, it educated, and it really was an important message to share for a particular group of people. But all the way through, they were doing this. And it just detracted a little bit from the message that they were sharing. So case in point is, this video has just gone over 9 minutes long. I hope I've shared something that's given you food for thought. But you know what? There was no script. Just those 3 sentences written down there, and the other sentence had something to do with the session that I've just run. You can do scriptless videos because it comes from your brain, through your heart, into your hand or on your stand, and out of your mouth into the world. You don't need to be scripted. You don't need to count your you don't need to keep them on your phone for a gazillion years. You don't need to have them, completely polished, completely edited to within an inch of its life. And for most social media platforms these days, the minute you post a video out there, it will actually save and transcribe for you. So find out more. Follow me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, or subscribe here. Everything is shown below. Bye for now.